Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. If you've been around before, welcome. I'm happy to see you all here. This is Thordernick, and on this channel we do at least 2 World of Warcraft videos every week, and we do some live streams as well. Usually 2 to 3 a week. So if you like what you see, consider subscribing so that you'll be notified when we release new content. Today, what I wanted to talk about, as Battle for Azeroth is quickly approaching, is what the release schedule is going to look like for the new expansion for Battle for Azeroth. So, Battle for Azeroth is going live globally at 10 o'clock p.m. UTC on August 14th. So depending on where you are in the world, that may mean that you get it a little bit later than normal for expansions, and depending on where you are, if you're where I am, on the west coast of the United States, you're going to get it quite a bit earlier than we normally do for expansions. So make sure that you plug in that time, 10 o'clock p.m. UTC, into a time converter, or you can look on Blizzard's website, but you can just plug that into a time converter and you'll see what time exactly the expansion is launching wherever you may be around the planet. So I would go ahead and do that because you want to know when this is all going live so that you can be ready to get questing and leveling, if you want to, as soon as possible. But that's not the only thing that we're here to talk about today. So that's when Battle for Azeroth is launching, but let's talk about what's going to be happening over the few weeks that are following. So on September 4th, which is about 3 weeks after the global release, normal and heroic Uldir, that's the new raid, will be opened. So if you're in a raiding guild or if you're looking for pugs, that's going to be the first week that we'll be able to raid at level 120, which means you'll have 3 weeks to get leveled and geared up and ready to go into the new expansion. Also on September 4th, the PvP Season 1 of Battle for Azeroth will begin. So if you want to do raided arenas, raided battlegrounds, and get some good PvP gear that way, that's when the season will start, and that's when you'll be able to start pushing raiding and doing all of that fun stuff. And the third thing that's going to happen is the Mythic Plus for Battle for Azeroth will be opened, will unlock. One difference that Blizzard is implementing this time around for Mythic Plus is there are going to be seasons that will be roughly in line with the raid releases, with the raid schedule. So the first season will be, well, Uldir is current content, and those seasons will have some different things going on with them. The biggest thing that's going to happen is the level 10 affix is going to change from season to season. So the first one coming out with Uldir will be Infested. Now you might be asking, so where are Tyrannical and Fortified going? Well, those are just going to be on all keys at level 2. So you'll either have Tyrannical or Fortified on every single mythic key that you get, and that should go a long way towards smoothing out the difficulty spikes as the key increases. Because, you know, if you've done a lot of Mythic Plus, especially early in Legion, you know, the affixes are decent difficulty spikes, but really it's just an extra mechanic that you have to deal with. And then when you get to level 10, all of a sudden the bosses or the trash is going to be a lot stronger, and so there's a really big spike in difficulty. But by moving that all the way down to level 2, what Blizzard is doing is smoothing out that difficulty increase so that there's not just, you know, the sudden we go from, okay, we got this and it's challenging, but we got it, no worries, to, oh, we can't even complete this dungeon, which did happen for a lot of groups, especially early in Legion. So that's something to keep in mind. Mythic Plus is opening on September 4th, PvP Season 1 is opening on September 4th, and Uldir, Normal, and Heroic will be open on September 4th as well. All of those things will be happening. After that, on September 11th, so that's 1 week later, Uldir Mythic and LFR, Wing 1 of Uldir, will be open. On September 25th, so that's 2 weeks after Mythic opens, the second wing of LFR will open. And then on October 9th, which is a month after 4 weeks after Wing 1 of LFR opens, the final wing of LFR for Uldir will be open. So if you care about doing LFR, or if you want to do it just for more chances at Azorite gear, it's going to be open on those dates. So again, that's September 11th, 25th, and October 9th. So that's going to be the content release schedule. But what are we going to want to do before all of that content starts to unlock? Well, there's going to be a lot of things going on as soon as Battle for Azeroth goes live, right? So the first thing that you're going to want to do is obviously level to 120. Now there's going to be a couple of things that you have to do along the way. Pretty much immediately into the expansion, you will be getting your Heart of Azeroth necklace, which is the new artifact. So you'll be getting that very early in the expansion, and that will carry you all the way to level 120, and it'll be the artifact that we are working with for the whole expansion. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is level to 120. If you are using War Mode to level, that should take you around 2 zones. If you are not using War Mode, it'll take you around 2.5 of the 3 zones, depending of course on how many dungeons or battlegrounds or other things that you do along the way. But level to 120 shouldn't take too long, shouldn't be too bad this time around. And then once you hit level 120, you will want to finish up questing in the different zones, at least until you have enough reputation to unlock world quests. So there is a reputation gain that you have to get with the faction in each of your 3 zones to unlock world quests, and you will want to do that because world quests are going to be a very important source of gear and of Azorite power, sorry, artifact power for your Azorite items and your Azorite, not your Azorite items, for your Heart of Azeroth necklace, which will unlock the traits on your Azorite weapons. So you'll want to unlock world quests so that you can do those and make sure that you get the emissary caches done every day that you can. And other things that you'll want to do in that first week, you will want to do the Warfront when it is accessible to you, because that will give you a really nice piece of gear for completing it the first time of the week. So you want to do the Warfront, which will be in the Arathi Highlands. And then you will want to do your daily heroics every day, of course, because that'll give you a nice chance of gear starting out. And it'll get you, all the important stuff. You want to get the daily heroic out of the way. And the last thing that I would recommend doing, try to get all of this done week 1, is get every mythic dungeon cleared. Now, there's not going to be any Mythic Plus, but by doing mythic dungeons, you're going to capitalize your chance of getting gear in that first week, which you will want to have going into Mythic Plus and raiding and the PvP season once everything is unlocked. So that's what we've got going on at the start of BFA. What should we do before the start of BFA? Well, there's only a little more than a week left at the time I'm recording this. So a couple of things that you can do if there's any items that you want to get in Legion that might be more difficult to obtain in Battle for Azeroth, things like mythic raid mounts. You'll want to try and get those done this week or next week before BFA goes live, because then those will go from being a 100% chance to drop to being like a 1% or maybe even a little bit lower than that chance to drop. There's also just some other group activities that you can do that people will not be concentrating on once BFA rolls around, so you'll want to get those done. Things like farming Violet Eyes in the Dalaran sewers, if that's your thing, if you like that kind of PvP content and you want to get the mount or any of the toys or items that you can unlock with that, then you'll want to get that done, because there won't be very many people in the Dalaran sewers once Legion is no longer current. Other than that, you can finish up your reputations if you really want to try to unlock the current allied races and you haven't got that done yet, then this would be the time to do that. You don't want to be sitting around in BFA once all this new content comes out and, be stuck farming old content that you really wanted to do. So get all of those done. Get anything that's current in Legion that you can get done in the last week finished, wrapped up, so that you can be ready to go. Another thing that I would really highly recommend doing is clear out your bags and your bank. Get rid of any Legion specific crafting materials you might have. Just get rid of any, extra items that you have that you're not going to be using in the next week. Just clear out all of that space so that you have plenty of free inventory space once you start questing. There's nothing more frustrating than going out to quest in a new expansion and getting about 15 minutes into it and realizing, oh, all of my bags are full and now I have to go and vendor some stuff. Or I have to make a trip to the bank and then get there and realize my bank is full. Just take care of all of those things right now to make your life a lot easier once Battle for Azeroth is here and current. So that's what I'd recommend doing now and for the first few weeks of Battle for Azeroth, and that gives you the release schedule for everything that's going on. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, please give me some constructive feedback and feel free to give it a thumbs down. Feel free to give me some hate. I'm not really bothered by that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, again, please consider subscribing. We put out 2 or more videos a week, depending on what's going on in Azeroth. And until next time, I will see you, and you take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.